production offices to some of our top casting and production companies in town. Now, one of them is Hasbro. You'll actually see we have Mr. Potato Head out to say hello today. And on the bungalow next to him, 5195, you might recognize the profile of Alfred Hitchcock. Well, in honor of our 100th anniversary, here's some famous faces to talk about their favorite Hitchcock memories.
Who said he could move into that office? I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. That should be a shrine, a museum.
Very exciting, just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office.
Hitchcock has influenced every director. And I saw Hitchcock once walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had a bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror.
The Birds? That was a really scary movie.
The Birds? Oh, man. That had me looking at crows like for the next 10 years.
Now, as we turn the corner, we are entering the back lot of our studio where the world is just around the corner. Now, you may have heard that 4 years ago, a fire burned nearly 4 acres of our lot, but we did begin rebuilding right away. You can see we're driving by the result of that hard work with our new Metro sets. Now, as first set of buildings in this clearing here on our right, this is our Brownstone Street, the exterior of which you might recognize from this scene in Bruce Almighty.
Raise the dog! I'm in the shower!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Oh, you're done now. Great.
B-E-A-U.
So as you can see, this area is almost identical to the original, that we can change things up based on the films working out here. As we're continuing forward, we are entering our Courthouse Square, which you might recognize from Back to the Future. Now, the road going all the way that way, that's the one the DeLorean was on, brought Marty McFly back home at the end of the first movie. You'll see we have people out here, part of the VIP experience I mentioned a little earlier, and they're standing outside our City Hall. Now, you may recognize that as the courthouse where the clock tower used to reside. Now, you'll see the clock tower is not actually up there right now because it's such an iconic image. If we were to keep it up there and continue filming out in front of it, you guys would recognize it as having filmed right here on the lot right away. So we've got it in a safe place. I've seen it for myself. Hopefully one day we'll be able to return it to its rightful place at the top of the clock tower. Now again, in honor of our 100th anniversary, here's Bob Gale and Christopher Lloyd to talk about what it was like to film at the top of the clock tower.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up at the clock tower on that ledge. There was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside, looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought, there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
The TV show Parenthood has been filming out here a lot as well. On your right inside the art gallery, you'll be able to see that there are some photos in there, some paintings. Some of the sets are slightly more dressed up than usual. As we turn the corner, we're entering our Metro sets. Now, if you look on your left, you'll see we have a theater over here. Next to it on the corner, we have the Tetons, and then across the street, we have another theater. Now, when we first reconstructed these sets, each of those street corners was designed to represent a theater from a different era in time. That way we could film on one street corner or another, and we wouldn't have to change the sets for the different projects. But Captain America, the first Avenger, filmed out here, and they had us change one of our theaters into what is now a Keaton's Diner, the scene as a Keaton's Auto Sales in the film. Now, as you're looking around at these sets, you'll see how amazing they are. Now, my co-host Jimmy is actually familiar with the streets of New York, so I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about them here on your screens.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone has filmed out here. NCIS, Criminal Minds, The Mindy Project, the spin-off of The Office, is filmed out here. We actually had a Skechers commercial film out here a couple of weeks ago. They filmed in front of the coffee bookstore and the stairway you see on your left-hand side. They filled the sets out with books and antiques and various items, and they were able to film out in front of it. Now, as you look around inside some of these buildings, especially in some of the windows on your left, you'll notice that it doesn't look like we would actually film inside of them. That's because we don't. No, most of these buildings are what we call facades, meaning we film exterior scenes in our New York Metro sets. So if we wanted to film something that took place indoors, we'd actually head back over to our front lot, build something up in a soundstage, and then match those shots up with the ones we get out here to complete the scene. So the Bruce Almighty clip I showed you when he started in his apartment yelling about the dog was filmed in a soundstage. And then they came out to our Brownstone Street to finish the rest of the shot. Now also, as you look around at these buildings and you see they're made out of massive stone and brick, they actually aren't. Nope, they're made out of styrofoam, foam rubber, fiberglass, candy glass, lightweight balsa wood. These materials enable us to tear down the sets, change them up, build them up at a relatively cost and time-effective rate. So as you guys look a little more closely at some of these buildings, you'll be able to see little clues that give away where these sets may not be made out of the stone and brick as they appear to be. Now, as incredible as these sets are, though, they're nothing without the people that work on them: cast, crew, actors, directors, producers. So I'm going to play a fun clip for you where the cast and crew of Back to the Future play a trick on Michael J. Fox. And he thinks he's about to drink water out of an alcohol pop bottle. It's not water. Uh-oh.
Where anybody drinks.
So you can see we work with some pretty incredible people here at Universal. Another one is Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson. He directed King Kong and the newest attraction we have here on the tour.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. Action! I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.